when people are like, oh, I really want to make money as an influencer, but no sponsors are knocking. And I'm like, start affiliates. Like I make 7 figures a year just doing affiliates. You do not have to wait to make money as an influencer for sponsors.
This is the Good Influencer Podcast with Julia Markham and Becca McLeod, pulling back the curtain of how this multi-billion-dollar industry works. If you're going to be an influencer, be a good one.
Welcome back to the Good Influencer Podcast, everyone. What a week it's been. This podcast is doing so good. We're so happy to have you all here. And we're going to get into a topic today that I think there's so many differing opinions on.
There are, and we'll share ours, but feel free to let us know how you're feeling over on Instagram. But you just came back from a trip. You have demo going on at the house. How are you feeling?
Overstimulated, I think is the worst word. It's so interesting because I really built my platform on chaos. Out of all the niches in the world, I chose home renovation as my niche. And so content-wise, it's a very exciting time in my world. Like content is coming out of my ears and I don't even have to do it myself. It's happening in front of me. I just have to capture it and share it. Personally, it's wearing on me a little bit, but we're still in the exciting phase. We had to pause construction to record this and I'm enjoying the break.
Did you have to explain that to them? Like, can you just hold off on banging on that thing while I film this podcast?
100%. And luckily, these are the same guys that we've worked with for the past 4 years. And so they have no problem like being on camera or taking a 30-minute break for us to record a podcast. They're actually happy about it.
Those sweeties. Well, this podcast is dedicated to them.
Shout out.
Shout out to them. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
Is comment for link starting to give you the ick?
Okay. We've talked about this in the office a bit, and we have some team members that are like, I have such an ick about it. I mostly see the ones that have gone viral. They're being served to me. And so naturally, like, I do want that. Like, you know what? I feel embarrassed commenting for like, I'm always like, trash bags.
But you're verified, so your comment goes straight to the top.
I know everyone see that I want this little trash bag thing. And it's like, why is it embarrassing? Like, send me the link to the gel pens. I wish that there was a more discreet way of saying it. So those are the viral ones that I get served. I don't follow these people. And so those ones I'm like so glad they exist. And then like my friends who I do follow and I just get it in my feed, I want to support them. And so like I'm always trying to leave comments on my friends' thing and I want to be like, how can I leave a comment here? I don't actually want the link. I just want to support you. And sometimes they're like, every comment will get the link. And I'm like, okay, I mean, no big deal. Yeah, send it over. But it has become oversaturated.
And maybe that's what the issue is, because I really didn't have a problem with it in the beginning. And I am one of the people on the team who is like, absolutely not. I will go to your link in bio. I will hunt down that link before I comment for the link. And that's just me.
Because are you embarrassed or what?
I don't think I'm embarrassed. I think it's really more the accounts that 100% of their content is comment for link. And I just feel like I'm sick of it.
Also, I will say this, like, if you go and hunt for the link in their bio, let's say, they're still getting the credit, but like also you're checking yourself. Like, do I really want it? Because like it's like DoorDash versus going to the restaurant to get the food. It's like, well, if I have to go to the restaurant to get the food, do I really want it? Comment for link is DoorDash. It's like, well, it's coming to you and you have to do no work. And so it's a good consumer check. Like, do I really want this? Will I go and hunt down the link? I don't know.
I also spend a lot of time on TikTok, and TikTok Shop kind of is the same thing of people who every day are getting on and like advertising this product in TikTok Shop. So I feel like I'm getting it from both ends of media I consume on TikTok and Instagram. It's just constantly links instead of any sort of organic content.
I see all the TikTok shop stuff, and I guess on Instagram, the comment for link is a great parallel to what that is. But for some reason, it is more obvious on me when you mention TikTok shop, and it feels like junk sometimes. It feels not authentic. And honestly, when you are building an audience online, part of it is like building trust. And I do want to make sure like I'm not just turning into like a home shopping network.
I'm still shopping people's links, but when I see these accounts that they never reshare the same product twice, we put an emphasis on sharing products multiple times, becoming known for these products you really love. Just the other day, I was looking for there was an influencer I followed, and at least twice a week she was wearing this pair of shoes. And I, for weeks, am seeing these shoes, and I could not get them out of my head. They weren't immediately linked on her page. I scoured her links to find them because she'd worn me down. I'm like, these are so good. I've seen them so many times. I'm more likely to purchase something that's just like a one-off comment for link. But maybe that's my personal shopping habits, and that's not a very common thing.
We've had mixed results. We use it very sparingly. I could probably count on one hand the amount of comment for links that we've used. It's usually the result of we've used something in our content, let's say stories. Like lantern floaties are a really good example of this. We showed this in stories just organically when we were doing our outdoor movie party, and we got so many DMs saying, give me the link, give me the link, give me the link. Of course, we share links in our stories all the time. Our reactive links perform 50 times better than our proactive links, meaning if we share a link in reaction to content that we've shared organically, like we're putting these lights into our pool and then we follow it up with, oh, and here's the link to the lights, rather than here's some pillows that we've rounded up for you. The link to the lights is going to perform way better because it's reactive. A lot of people are interested in a link that we've organically shared in our stories. That is when we say, hey, this is highly sought after in our stories. People bought it. This is a good candidate for a comment for a link. And I think if people were a little bit more intentional about when they're using it, I think those are the ones that go viral.
Right. I've been like such a hater this whole episode. I have signed off on Good Influencer doing comment for links. When it first came out, it was like, oh, it just makes sense. If we're advertising this seminar, we're advertising Race to 10K, we should do a comment for link. And what I noticed is that actually, I think it hurt our engagement a little bit. We would be sending out like all these messages, but it's almost like if someone's had to do the work to find the link themselves, they're more likely to purchase it. And so we've been holding off on using it. And we were doing it like maybe once a week, but I just felt like our organic content was really suffering to the point that we weren't seeing high enough conversions from comment for a link to make it worth it. And that's hard when it's affiliate links, when you're linking products on comment for link that you have on other platforms, because you don't truly know where those commissions are coming from. If the link lives on your blog, the commission could be coming from your blog or the comment for link. You don't actually know where those sales are coming from.
That's true. You're not a hater, Becca. You're just telling it how it is. And honestly, we love to give ourselves the chance to engage with our audience. I actually have to remind my affiliates manager, like, hey, it's okay if it's not in the same 30 minutes that I posted something. Like, it's okay. The content lives on. So if you can't get to the link right away, that's okay, because this is also like building great engagement. Let's make sure like every link that we put out is something that our audience wants. And like sometimes, our DMs can be overtaken, and sometimes we are a little bit more proactive and like they're going to want this. We already know it and we can have it prepared. But either way, audience engagement is actually a huge win. Becca and I love chatting with you every week, but in between the podcast episodes, we're hanging out in our influencer mastermind. With a good influencer subscription, you get access to our exclusive course library designed to help you build your business as an influencer and our mastermind forum on Facebook. This is your place to ask questions, network, and workshop. Here you can receive feedback from thousands of other influencers and our team. Listeners get 30% off their monthly subscription by using the code podcast at checkout. See you in the mastermind.
I see this in the mastermind, people who say, I want to be making more money with affiliates, and going to their page, I can see they're sharing so many affiliate links. Do you feel like less is more with affiliates? Is that all the time? What have you kind of noticed there?
This is really hard for me because I am such a yapper on my stories, okay? It is so hard for me to limit my stories, even when, and this is important, all of the data supports that less stories equal more engagement. Then why can I not resist posting 30 stories a day? And it's just because I love engaging with my audience. And a lot of those are reactive affiliate links. But one of our goals this year was to really diversify our affiliate streams. And so not everything has to live on stories. And on LTK, we can post 20 times a day because that is what that platform is for. Those people are there to shop. On Pinterest, let's put all of our shoppable content from LTK on Pinterest so that people can find us there and get to an affiliate link. On the blog, how many different places can we link this Steam up to? Let's link it to all the different places. And so we're planting affiliate links everywhere. And the problem comes when people are just using their stories as their main way to sell things and to earn affiliate income. If that's your main way, you have bottlenecked yourself into having to post too many affiliate links. The amount of affiliate links I post in my stories versus the amount of affiliate links that we're putting out a day is a small fraction. Let's say we get 5 affiliate links and stories a day, which is what I recommend influencers start with. That does not mean those are your 5 stories a day. That means you're posting, in my case, 20 stories and 5 of them have affiliate links in them. It's really about diversifying your affiliate revenue, and that is what's going to keep your story engagement and your story views up. We had, over Christmas break when I let my team off, and of course I have to just connect with my audience because I just want to. It's fun for me. And my story views have never been higher. They've never been higher, and it's because they were so few and far between. And sometimes I'm like, man, if I just posted one link one day, how much more impactful that would be. If you have any amount of willpower, unlike me, obviously, try it and report back and let me know how it goes.
To me, though, reactive links on stories feel organic. It's the ones that are dropped in that don't feel as organic.
I count it as organic, and as like a company policy, like those are organic links because they're reactive to organic content. And honestly, Becca, if I see a roundup that has nothing to do with what the influencer was talking about, I'm like, huh? And there's like 25 products on the page, I'm not focusing. It's so much more impactful if you are going to do a roundup. And this is like totally off topic, but like less is more. Less is more. That's the name of the episode. Less is more, I think.
It is. One last thing on comment for Link is that stories are so important to building an engaged audience. Not only can you really monetize there, but that's your opportunity for your followers to interact with you and for you to interact with them. If you are constantly putting all of your links in feed, people won't feel the need to check your stories anymore. And then your story bubble will stop popping up for them, and then your story views will dramatically drop. By putting content in stories that can't be found in your feed, like links, you're training people to keep checking back over and over again.
That's such a good point. And also just like affiliates are there to support your content, not make up 100% of your content. If your content is affiliates, like you don't have content and that is going to hurt your follower count, your engagement period.
And if you are someone who feels like, okay, this is something I'm doing, I feel like I have too many affiliates in my stories, they're just dropped affiliates, there's no story, we're here to help. And in our most recent affiliate seminar, Julia said something, it really resonated with me. You said you found a lot of freedom in sharing affiliate content when you stopped creating and started documenting throughout your day. I feel like that really aligns with how like affiliates and the story content has shifted this year overall. What was your mentality around that?
Honestly, I think the idea to stop creating and start documenting came from a place of burnout last year where we had on the shoot schedule how to style a nightstand. And I just threw my hands up in the air and I was like, I can't do this. Now, how to style a nightstand is really top quality content. It's informative. I think I could make it entertaining, inspiring, all those things. I just have come to a place where I cannot create content for the sake of creating content anymore. It feels inauthentic to me. It feels like busy work when I'm already a busy person. And I actually have a lot that I want to authentically share. A really good example of this is yesterday, Chris was making an Easter ham for Chris Cooks. And obviously, there's things like we have Chris Cooks where we are thinking ahead to Easter and make sure the recipe's out there for our audience. It's not like we're just living our lives and documenting it. But instead of the idea of creating a whole Easter table, which was never on the shot list, Chris was making an Easter ham. I was like, oh, you know what would be so nice? If I put together like a little Easter tablescape so that we could shoot this. That felt authentic to me. I have a conversation all the time with our team members. Like, let's say I am traveling for work and I don't want to disclose that I'm traveling for work while I'm away because even though we have a house sitter and a nanny and I feel confident that our kids and house are safe, you can never be too careful with those things. And so usually I don't share that until we're back. A lot of times my team will post for me. For instance, I was on a shoot. I was going to be busy literally all day. And I had pre-recorded a couple things for them to post while I was on this shoot. Because first and foremost, like this is a job and I can't just take a week off. There is a difference in engagement when my team posts content that I pre-recorded versus when I post content that I recorded them. And the only thing that we can think of is energy. I think that there's a distinct difference in energy when you're creating content for the sake of creating content versus being authentically yourself and sharing that. I'm setting an Easter table. Yeah, let's link the tablecloth. That's authentic. And I've always been someone that has loved to share what we're doing in the moment. And I think the energy is just different.
Yeah, it comes through in when you're sharing links that you're organically grabbing throughout the day that have to do with what you're doing in stories that day versus roundups created weeks ago. The stories that you're making that day always outperform the roundup graphic that was created. It's eerie, it's buyer behavior, it's user behavior. It's hard to understand, but it's true.
Yeah. And I think that it feels authentic. And that's why it's connecting with your audience. I know people that can plan out and shoot a whole year's worth of content. And to me, I'm like, that can feel stale. And I've recorded things ahead in the past, whole projects. And I will tell you when it comes time to share them, I'm editing things out because I'm troubleshooting. I'm like, well, we actually didn't end up doing that. So let's edit that out. And that's different, you know? It hits different. It hits different. People want what they call a comfort creator. Have you heard that term before?
Yeah.
It's someone that they're always looking for their bubble, their story bubble to pop up. Oh, they just posted. What are they doing? And when I think about my comfort creators, where I get so excited when their story bubble pops up, no matter how many times it pops up a day, it's the people where I feel like I'm seeing an unscripted version of them. And when I thought about creating content for the sake of creating content, that just felt so scripted to me. Instead of creating, I'm now documenting. I'm documenting my walks. I'm documenting what I'm reading. I'm documenting what I'm eating and what our kitchen looks like on a Sunday afternoon. And from those stories, there's natural curiosities about everything from what I'm wearing to my shoes to what kind of everyday dishes we use. And those are things that you might not think of originally to share with your audience as affiliate links, but in the end, those are the things that they are going to connect with because they're connecting with your story.
For anyone listening that's maybe new to influencing, we've talked a lot about affiliate links, which are links you create through an affiliate network like Amazon, LTK, or ShopMy. And then when someone purchases the product, you get a commission for it. If you want to learn more about this, want to learn more about making it happen, check out the Earning with Affiliates course, which is included with a Good Influencer subscription. We'll teach you all the ins and outs. Julia, you've always really loved affiliates. That's always been like a part of the business that you've really loved working on. Why is that?
I love affiliates because there's no contract. No one's forcing me to say anything about this company or about this product. And I'm making money through being authentically excited about a product. I love that it's something that people can do right away. When people are like, oh, I really want to make money as an influencer, but no sponsors are knocking. And I'm like, start affiliates. Like, I make 7 figures a year just doing affiliates. Like, you do not have to wait to make money as an influencer for sponsors. Like, you can do it right now by signing up for these different affiliate platforms and just authentically sharing the things that you use in your everyday life. I love that, like I said, there's no contract. There's no don't say this or make sure you hit these talking points.
When you hear an influencer who like isn't having success in affiliates or isn't hitting, the revenue levels they can, what's your first assumption about how they're sharing?
Oh, my first assumption about how they're sharing is it might be out of your niche. There might be too many. There is probably a disconnect between your content and your roundup. There might be a lack of originality. This is a really big one, and it's something that I'm constantly pushing for in my own affiliates is where's the original thought here? Where's the original link? If you're like pushing the same anything that you see 100 other people pushing as an affiliate, well, I've already seen that. Now, on the contrary, you should be sharing your favorites over and over and over again. And the great thing is, like, people will connect that item with you. And that's also a really cool feeling. But, like, make sure there's some originality and they really reflect your branding. I know a couple years ago, we went, like, really deep into branding for Chris Loves Julia. Like, we are moody, modern, traditional. Does this shoe choice say to you moody, modern, traditional? Does this ottoman say moody, modern, traditional? Or is that mid-century? If that's mid-century, this doesn't represent my brand. Get it off. And I think people could be a little bit more mindful in their recommendations and make sure like they align with who they are as a person, as a brand, and just not too many. I need to know you as a creator before I trust your product recommendations. If I don't know who you are as a creator, why should I buy anything you trust? I got the best compliment the other week, and they said, someone was DMing me and they said, hey, do you have a favorite? It was like the most random thing. I think the swim cover up. It was like something like I never really talk about. Like, do you have a favorite swim cover up? I'm not sure if you ever shared one before, but I just always trust your recommendations. Like, no better compliment. And when you build a relationship with your audience, that's where you are with affiliates. They trust your recommendations, and you can have to be so mindful and like make sure the ones that you're talking about are ones that you truly do love, enjoy, recommend.
And you may think you've shared something a lot of times, everyone in your audience has bought it. And I'm here to tell you that's not true because the same steam mop shows up on the top earning products for CLJ affiliates every single week. And that was shared, what, a year ago?
Yes, every week. You can just that you can just keep sharing your top ones and they'll somehow keep telling.
They always will. So your homework this week, listeners, pay attention to the links that you're clicking on and why. There's so much to be learned from the content you interact with as a user on Instagram that you can take into how you are linking and sharing your favorite products online. But we will see you next week. Bye.
Until next time, follow us on YouTube and Instagram at Good Influencer. And if you're ready to join a whole community of influencers growing organically and getting paid to do what they love, join the Good Influencer Mastermind by visiting our website, good-influencer.com. If you're going to be an influencer, be a good one.